The call of the supermoon. Chosen ones, the moment has arrived where the veil between who you once were and who you are destined to become grows impossibly thin. This is not a simple phase, not a passing wave of change. It is a summons, written in the stars and echoed in your very heartbeat. Before the light of the coming supermoon crowns the night sky, you will already feel its influence seeping into your spirit. You may have sensed it already, a subtle shifting within, a strange stirring that refuses to be ignored. That is no accident. It is the universe preparing you for the unveiling of your truest self, the old identity you've carried, the one weary from delays, disappointments, and endless waiting, was only ever a cocoon, a shell meant to crack open in this very season. Every tear you've shed, every moment of despair you thought would consume you, has been part of a precise preparation. You weren't being broken, you were being refined. What you mistook for punishment was an initiation, shaping you into a vessel strong enough to hold the frequency you are about to embody. The supermoon does not wait. Its light is already moving through you, igniting the hidden corners of your soul where fear once nested. The world around you may still see you as the same person, but inside, you already know you are not. Something immense, something sacred, has begun to awaken. This is the quiet rising before the storm, the inhale before the world exhales into transformation, and you are at the very center of it. Do not underestimate what is unfolding. The person you believed yourself to be yesterday cannot follow you into tomorrow. The reflection you see today is a ghost of the self you are leaving behind. As the supermoon rises, you will not merely shift, you will emerge as someone even you may not fully recognize. And yet, that radiant version of you has been waiting patiently for this very moment. This is your awakening. This is your becoming, the beginning of transformation. The quiet stirring within you is not your imagination. It is the first signal that the shift has already begun. For too long, you have been walking with the weight of exhaustion, carrying questions with no answers and holding on to cycles that felt endless. But understand this: the unease you feel was never meant to break you. It was meant to sculpt you. Every collapsed plan, every door that shut, every silence that felt unbearable was part of a divine dismantling. The old world you built, the identity you wore, had to unravel so there could be room for what you are destined to step into now. The person you were yesterday, the one who wondered when things would finally change, is fading. That version of you was never meant to survive this next chapter. You are not simply leveling up. You are ascending into an entirely new frequency, one that vibrates higher, purer, and stronger. This shift is not a gradual change. It is an inner revolution. The universe has been stripping away the illusions, peeling back the layers of who you thought you were, so that your true essence could finally rise. And though the process has been painful, it has also been precise. Every delay prepared your patience. Every loss carved space for gain. Every heartbreak softened you into wisdom. What you mistook as chaos was, in truth, sacred alignment. The supermoon is not waiting to transform you when it crests the sky. It has already begun its work in you now. Feel it. The old frequencies no longer resonate. The past no longer clings. The transformation is not coming. It is here. You are already becoming. The rising energy before the moon. As your old self dissolves, you can feel a peculiar force awakening within you, a restlessness that cannot be silenced. It might show up as irritation, a sudden impatience, or the sense that you can no longer tolerate what once drained you. This is not weakness, it is power, rising like fire from within. The closer the supermoon draws, the more your spirit refuses to bend under old patterns. Toxic ties feel heavier than ever. Cycles that once felt comfortable now suffocate, and habits you once excused are no longer bearable. This is your soul shouting, "Enough." The hesitation that defined you before is evaporating. You are no longer second-guessing your instincts. There is a clarity now, sharp and undeniable, guiding you to move in ways that once felt impossible. You may find yourself cutting ties without guilt, making choices you once agonized over, or stepping forward with a courage you didn't know lived inside you. This is not recklessness. It is sacred alignment. The same gravitational pull that commands the oceans is now pulling your boundaries into place, preparing you to walk as the truest version of yourself. The universe is not waiting for the supermoon to rise. It is already shifting you into action. What you once overthought, you now embody. Where you once hesitated, you now move. When the moon reaches its peak, hesitation itself will die, and you will stand as a force of willpower and fearlessness. This is the moment where instinct and destiny become one, and you are already in its flow. The night shift, moonlit activation. As this energy takes root, you may notice a strange yet undeniable shift. Your strength no longer belongs to the daylight. Instead, it awakens when the sun disappears and the moon begins its climb. Hours that once felt heavy and silent now feel charged with life, almost electric, as if the very night itself is whispering to you. This is not insomnia, nor is it chance. It is the rhythm of the supermoon aligning with the pulse of your spirit, syncing your inner world with its luminous tide. You may feel bursts of creativity when the world is asleep. Inspiration will strike at midnight. Clarity will arrive in the still hours before dawn, and your intuition will sharpen in the quiet darkness. What once seemed like solitude will reveal itself as activation. The moonlight is not just shining over you, it is awakening something long buried within. It is calling forth the fearless, instinctual part of your soul that has been waiting for this exact moment to rise. Do not resist these nocturnal awakenings. The divine is rearranging your timing, carving out space for you to hear what you could not hear in the noise of the day. Nights will become sacred ground, a time when your hidden strength is switched on, when visions form, and when courage takes root. The world may still sleep, but you will be alive in a way you have never been before. For in the moonlight, the chosen ones find their truest fire, and that fire has only just begun to burn. Separation of frequencies. As the moonlight sharpens your inner vision, you will begin to sense a quiet but undeniable divide forming around you. Conversations that once flowed easily may now feel strained, as if words no longer reach their destination. People who once brought comfort may suddenly feel heavy, their presence wrapped in fog. This is not judgment, nor is it rejection. It is recognition. The frequencies of the world are shifting, and you are no longer aligned with what once felt familiar. You may notice that certain places exhaust you, while others feel like nourishment. Some people repeat the same patterns endlessly, locked in cycles that no longer resonate with your evolving spirit. Their voices may grow louder, but their meaning feels faint, almost hollow. This is the energetic sorting, the universe pulling souls into the vibrations they have chosen, exposing not only what surrounds you, but also what is no longer part of your path. At first, this clarity can feel like loneliness. You may question why you no longer fit, why old connections dissolve like mist under the rising sun. But understand this: solitude in this stage is not abandonment. It is confirmation. The light of the full moon is revealing the spaces where your soul no longer belongs. You are not meant to carry everyone with you. You are meant to rise unburdened. The divide you sense is not punishment. It is the universe making way for alignment. And with each day closer to the supermoon, that divide becomes impossible to ignore. The internal battle before the peak. As the separation grows clearer, the greatest battle does not come from the world around you. It rises within. You may feel yourself torn between momentum and resistance, as though two selves are wrestling for control. One voice whispers to retreat, to cling to comfort, to remain unseen. Another urges you forward, commanding you to rise, to step boldly into the light without hesitation. This is not instability, it is calibration. It is the sound of evolution taking shape inside of you. The old identity does not surrender quietly. It bargains, tempts, and whispers of safety, begging you to remain in the familiar. Yet the emerging self is louder now, pulsing with courage, clarity, and instinct. Each choice feels like a tug of war between fear and destiny. One moment, you are ready to move mountains. The next, you question everything. Do not mistake this friction for failure. It is proof that the new consciousness is taking hold. The moon's growing brilliance amplifies this struggle, not to torment you, but to strip away the last illusions that bind you. The more you resist, the louder the conflict becomes. But the more you surrender to truth, the clearer your path unfolds. This is not about healing old wounds or negotiating with shadows. It is a takeover. Your higher self is preparing to ascend fully, and the old self is being burned away in the process. When the supermoon reaches its peak, hesitation will no longer survive. Only one version of you will remain, the self that chose to rise. Reframing the past. When the inner conflict feels overwhelming, pause and look back. Truly look back at the road you have walked. Every storm you endured, every heartbreak that shattered you, every delay that tested your patience was not a punishment, but preparation. You were never abandoned. You were being refined. Each betrayal sharpened your intuition. Each setback carved space for greater blessings. Each loss was alignment disguised as grief. The universe was never against you. It was sculpting you into the vessel you must now become. Think of the nights when faith seemed absent, when you believed the silence meant you were forgotten. In truth, those were your training grounds. You were being strengthened in the dark, molded in secrecy, prepared for the light you are stepping into now. The pain that once felt unbearable has transformed into wisdom, the confusion into clarity, and the scars into proof of your endurance. As the supermoon approaches, the weight of the past lifts. You begin to see the divine pattern hidden in what once felt meaningless. You are not starting over, you are starting transformed. The dots are connecting, revealing that nothing was wasted, nothing was random. All of it led here, to this threshold of becoming. The fear that once ruled you dissolves into calm, and for the first time, you do not crave change, you are ready for it. The past has not broken you, it has unveiled you, and as the moon swells to fullness, so too does the realization that you were always being prepared for this very moment. The call to solitude. As the recognition of your past settles into wisdom, another pull begins to shape your steps. The call to solitude. The noise of the world, once tolerable, now feels unbearable. Crowds drain you, conversations weigh heavy, and even simple interactions can leave your spirit restless. This is not you losing interest in people. It is your soul rejecting what no longer nourishes it. The universe is guiding you inward, away from the chaos, into the sanctuary of silence. At first, this withdrawal may feel unfamiliar, even unsettling, yet beneath it lies divine intention. Your energy is recalibrating. your nervous system instinctively pulling you into stillness so it can prepare for the surge ahead. Invitations may feel unappealing, messages may go unanswered, and you may crave solitude more than company. Trust this: you are not retreating out of fear, you are retreating into alignment. In this silence, strength gathers. What felt empty before now feels alive, charged with clarity and power. Your energy, no longer scattered in every direction, begins to consolidate, building within you like a rising tide. Solitude becomes sacred initiation, the womb where transformation gestates. It is here that the next version of you begins to take shape, away from distraction, untouched by noise. Creation itself requires stillness, and you are being led into that stillness now. When the supermoon crests, the silence will not end in emptiness. It will break open into awakening. You will emerge renewed, your energy whole, your presence undeniable. Solitude is not abandonment, it is preparation. And in this preparation, you are becoming unstoppable. The power of surrender. From the stillness of solitude comes a deeper revelation. Control was never your true strength. For so long, you tried to force outcomes, to bend life into shapes that fit your vision. Yet each time, life resisted, reminding you that control is nothing more than fear dressed as certainty. Now, under the approach of the supermoon, you are learning the sacred power of surrender, the art of letting go and allowing life to flow toward you, rather than dragging yourself toward it. This surrender is not defeat, it is mastery. When plans shift or fall apart, you no longer panic. Instead, you trust. You feel a quiet confidence that whatever dissolves was never meant to hold you, and whatever arrives will not miss you. This is alignment at its purest. When you stop grasping, the universe finally has space to move on your behalf. Notice how your reactions are changing. Disruptions no longer feel like punishments, but like redirections. People drift away, paths dissolve, yet everything lands exactly where it belongs. The future, once something you chased, now feels like something already waiting for you, unfolding with perfect rhythm. In this state, peace is not found in control, but in trust, in knowing that the river of life carries you exactly where you are meant to go. The supermoon's lesson is clear. Stop pushing, stop forcing, stop clutching at what was never yours to command. Let go, and you will see how swiftly life rushes in to fill the space you once cluttered with resistance. Surrender is not weakness. It is the ultimate strength, the moment where you align fully with the universe and allow it to carry you forward into destiny. Crossing into resonance, when surrender unlocks its quiet power, a profound shift begins, one that feels almost otherworldly. No longer are you moving through life by force or strategy. Instead, reality itself begins to bend toward you, responding to your essence rather than your effort. This is resonance, the state where your energy, clear and unwavering, shapes the world around you more swiftly than any action could. What once took months of struggle now unfolds in hours, sometimes moments. You think, you feel, and suddenly the universe answers. This is not fantasy. It is magnetism. At this stage, coincidences multiply, synchronicities align, and doors open without knocking. You may sense outcomes before they occur, or feel the presence of someone before they appear. Logic, once your compass, now bows to intuition, and you begin to navigate life by sensing rather than calculating. The veil between thought and manifestation grows thin, and your energy becomes the language the universe cannot ignore. Do not fear this new rhythm, though it may feel disorienting at first. The old mind craves predictability, but predictability belongs to limitation. You are no longer bound by it. In resonance, life ceases to resist you. It flows through you. The river no longer pushes against your steps. It carries you effortlessly toward the very places your soul has been calling for all along. As the supermoon swells, this resonance will intensify. Your vibration, now coherent and stable, radiates outward with unmistakable force. People, opportunities, even random encounters will shift in your orbit, drawn to the frequency you embody. You are not chasing alignment anymore. Alignment is chasing you. This is the sacred crossing, and once you enter, there is no return to the old way of living. Embracing discomfort is power. As resonance takes hold, another revelation unfolds. What once felt unbearable now becomes your fuel. The chosen ones are no longer shrinking from discomfort, but rising because of it. Pain, uncertainty, and pressure no longer signal punishment. They become proof of transformation. Where once you saw obstacles, you now recognize initiation. The storm that once burned you now becomes the fire that powers you forward. Think of how chaos once paralyzed you, how every setback felt like a warning to retreat. That version of you is dissolved. Now, when intensity rises, so does your brilliance. Instead of collapsing under pressure, you adapt, you accelerate, you expand. Your nervous system, once overwhelmed, has learned to translate the energy of friction into clarity. You are discovering that pressure does not break you. It activates you. The pattern reveals itself. Rejection brought redirection. Heartbreak led to healing. And endings became gateways to new beginnings. Discomfort was never your enemy. It was always the catalyst, the doorway through which every gift entered your life. And now, instead of resisting the fire, you walk into it willingly, knowing it is where your strength glows brightest. The universe trusts you with greater challenges now, not because life grows easier, but because you have proven your endurance. You no longer seek calm waters. You have learned to breathe beneath the waves. As the supermoon nears, you will find yourself embracing every trigger, every unknown, with a steady calm that others mistake for fearlessness. But this is not the absence of fear. It is the mastery of it. You no longer run from storms. You are becoming the storm, walking through shadows. From the fire of discomfort arises a new courage, the courage to face the unknown without trembling. The chosen ones are no longer haunted by shadows. They are learning to walk within them. What once felt threatening now feels like invitation. For the darkness does not exist to consume you, but to reveal the hidden depths of your own light. Under the swelling power of the supermoon, fear dissolves, replaced by an almost sacred calm when you step into uncertainty. Where others see mystery, you now see opportunity. Where others sense danger, you sense information. Shadows become teachers, showing you truths that daylight concealed. Conversations you once avoided now flow naturally. Doors you once feared to open no longer intimidate you. This shift is not about recklessness. It is about recognition. The dark has never been your enemy. It was only waiting for you to carry your light into it. As the moonlight spreads, what was hidden rises, not to harm you, but to empower you. Old fears resurface, not as threats but as mirrors, revealing the strength you've cultivated. The uncertainty that once sent you running now calls you forward. The unknown is no longer a void, but a canvas where your soul paints its expansion. This is the gift of shadow walking, to move into uncertainty without losing yourself, to bring light where others only see obscurity, to realize that darkness was never bigger than you. As the supermoon peaks, this courage will anchor itself deep within you. You will not just survive the shadows, you will illuminate them. For true power is not found in avoiding the dark, but in walking through it with unshakable light. Spiritual visibility. As you learn to walk through the shadows, something even more mysterious begins to unfold. Your presence can no longer be hidden. The energy you carry, refined by fire and illuminated by moonlight, radiates outward with a frequency impossible to ignore. This is not about standing on a stage or demanding attention. It is the quiet, unshakable authority of alignment made visible. The supermoon amplifies this presence, making your spirit luminous even when no words are spoken. You may notice subtle signs at first: strangers turning their heads as you pass, people lingering in your energy without knowing why, eyes meeting yours with curiosity or unease. Some will feel drawn to you instantly, inspired by your calmness and strength. Others may feel unsettled, their resistance stirred simply by being near you. Understand this. None of it is personal. It is energetic truth expressing itself in real time. Your light awakens some, while it exposes others. This visibility may feel overwhelming, even strange, as though you are being seen in ways you never asked for. Yet it is not a burden. It is proof of coherence. Your inner world is stabilized. Your vibration no longer wavers, and reality reflects that with clarity. Just as the moon pulls the tides without effort, your energy begins to pull opportunities, connections, and outcomes into your orbit. As the supermoon reaches its fullness, this spiritual visibility will solidify. You will not need to announce who you have become. Your presence alone will declare it. This is embodiment, the stage where your energy speaks louder than your voice, and the world cannot help but respond. You are no longer blending into the noise of distraction. You have become the light itself. And now, chosen ones, as the supermoon rises to its zenith, the journey reaches its sacred culmination. Every shadow you have walked through, every storm you have endured, every silence you have embraced, has been guiding you to this point. You are no longer the person who once doubted, hesitated, or questioned their worth. You are the embodiment of resilience, the living proof that nothing was wasted and nothing was lost. The supermoon seals this truth into your spirit. You have become the light you were always destined to carry. This is not merely change, it is rebirth. You are stepping into a version of yourself that feels both unfamiliar and profoundly true. The reflection in the mirror may surprise you, but do not resist it. That radiant being staring back is the self the universe has been shaping in silence. You no longer need to chase, to force, or to cling. You are aligned, you are flowing, and life itself bends to meet you here. As this chapter closes, know that it is not an ending, but a threshold. You have crossed into a realm where instinct leads, resonance carries, and courage anchors your every step. The world will see you differently now, not because you have demanded it, but because your presence has transformed. You do not simply move with the flow of life, you are the flow. So stand tall beneath the supermoon's brilliance. Let its light remind you of the fire you carry within. You are no longer waiting for transformation. You are living it. And as you step forward, remember, the universe has not only chosen you, it has prepared you, and now it reveals you.